Tesla makes some of the most connected cars out there. The fact that their cars are so software-based means that Tesla can improve things over time and make their mobile phone app really useful as a customer, but it also adds in the possibility of the car being hacked. Of course, with any technology company, this is a huge focus, and Tesla is constantly working on security, but there have been a few times their cars have been successfully hacked. Today, we're going to talk about 6 different times Teslas were hacked, so let's get into it. On Tesla's privacy website, they say that your data belongs to you. Quote, "We're committed to protecting you anytime you get behind the wheel of a Tesla vehicle. That commitment extends to your data privacy. Our privacy standards aim to go beyond industry standards, ensuring your personal data is never sold, tracked, or shared without your permission or knowledge." They're very clear that they never sell or rent out our data to third-party companies, and they detail specifically what kind of data they collect. There is quite a bit of data that is shared with Tesla if you opt into it, and that's shared automatically but not associated with your account. So it's totally anonymous, but they do have your data. One of those areas is cabin camera data as well as autopilot camera recordings if opted in through data sharing. Then for cabin camera data, Tesla will associate it with your account if the FSD beta is enabled and safety critical event occurs, or for autopilot camera recordings, they'll collect it with your associated account in the occurrence of a safety critical event only. So those are their data privacy standards, but then there's security on the other side of things. First up today is a hack you may have heard of recently. A Tesla Model 3 was hacked, demonstrating a hole in Tesla's security measures, but it's not exactly what you may think. Since EVs have so much integrated software, security is becoming increasingly critical. Quote, "In the worst case scenario, a hacker could not only gain access to a car, but could leak user data or even take control of the vehicle. Just recently, Tesla set themselves up to be hacked in the name of security. They returned to the pwn-to-own hacking competition with a Model 3 functioning as both the target and the prize for anyone who successfully hacks it. Last year, 2 hackers at this event found a vulnerability in the Model 3's browser, which won them the vehicle and over $350,000 in prize money. Richard Zhu and Amat Kam were a team at this competition, and within a few minutes, they demonstrated the flaw they had found in Tesla's internet browser. Quote, "The pair used a GIT bug in the renderer to display their message, and won the prize, which included the car itself. In the most simple terms, a GIT, or just-in-time bug, bypasses memory randomization data that normally would keep secrets protected." Shortly after this event, Tesla said, "There are several layers of security within our cars which worked as designed and successfully contained the demonstration to just the browser, while protecting all other vehicle functionality. In the coming days, we will release a software update that addresses this research." Since then, Tesla has, of course, patched this, and that's the entire point of Tesla entering that competition. They want the best hackers in the world to find holes for them to patch before anything bad happens. It's another reason why they returned to that competition again this year. This time, a group called Synactive used an exploit to gain access to the Model 3. As a result, they won a Tesla Model 3, $100,000, and of course, Tesla is now able to patch this security hole. It's a great test of security to have in a controlled environment, hackers trying their best to hack a Tesla so that Tesla is able to take that and improve their security. As for the details of this particular hack, quote, "Thanks to the nature of the hacking competition, the details of how the hack was performed have not been made entirely public to avoid a security risk for Tesla owners. What we do know is that it was a talk-to exploit, or time of check to time of use exploit, and they were able to compromise the gateway of the vehicle through that bug. What's particularly notable about Tesla's participation in this event is how much it demonstrates Tesla's focus on security. No other automaker was at this event, and Tesla is actively putting their cars out there confidently, knowing they are difficult to hack. Then when someone succeeds, it's a win long-term for their vehicle safety, and this is, again, the purpose here. Of course, we do occasionally see headlines that make it seem like hordes of computer hackers are successfully breaking their way into Tesla vehicles and driving off with them. That's not the case at all, but there have been instances of people managing to unlock the car. Thankfully, though, they usually aren't malicious. A common potential security issue concerns the use of a key card to open the vehicle. Unlike a physical key, a key card uses short-range radio frequency identification, or RFID, to communicate with the vehicle. Since around 2017, drivers who used their Tesla NFC, or near-field communication, key card to unlock their cars had to place the card on their center console to begin driving. You would have to tap the card to the door pillar to unlock the car, and then tap it again on the center console to start it. In 2021, Tesla issued an update to make the keycard more convenient. Instead of having to tap it twice, you would just have to tap it once to unlock the car, and you would have 130 seconds to put the car into drive. Now there are 3 ways to unlock your Tesla. You can use the key card, a key fob, or you can use your phone as key. So essentially, once a key card is registered to a Tesla, it can be used to turn anyone's phone into a key for that vehicle, with the permission of the vehicle owner. That 130-second window, though, is where a vulnerability was found. About a year ago, a friendly hacker or security researcher in Austria discovered that the card didn't just allow owners to start driving within 130 seconds of being unlocked with the NFC card, but it also put the car in a state to accept entirely new keys, requiring no authentication. Even further, there was zero indication of this happening on the front screen. That sounds like a huge oversight, but you have to consider this researcher wasn't doing this through the official Tesla app. The Tesla app doesn't allow keys to be enrolled unless they're connected to the owner's account, but this researcher managed to build his own app, which he called Tesla Key, that speaks the same language that the official Tesla app uses to communicate with Tesla vehicles. In this video demonstration, a driver enters their car after unlocking it with an NFC card. Then a, quote, thief begins exchanging messages between the weaponized Tesla Key and the car. Within 130 seconds of the car being unlocked, the app is able to enroll a key that's not connected to the owner's account. From that point on, that app can unlock, start driving, and relock the car. Nothing shows up on the front screen where the new car is being made. This was designed by a researcher, not a malicious attacker. The app that he designed wasn't made public, and the app that is public serves to help Tesla owners make sure no one has been authorized to enter their vehicle that shouldn't be. A few months later, though, a different researcher found another way to hack the NFC system, this time with 2 people. The way NFC works is essentially a sort of question and answer system. The car poses a challenge that the NFC responds to, but that signal can be intercepted. With the help of a device that can be bought for under $400 and a cell phone, a hacker can prompt the vehicle to open. One person stands by the car to prompt the signal, and the device can transmit that signal over Wi-Fi to a cell phone held by a second person standing by the Tesla owner. As long as the second person can get the device within several inches of the owner's key, they can gain access to the vehicle. With that 130-second update we just talked about, the person near the car can start driving if they step on the brake within 2 minutes after unlocking the car. Once they put the car into park, they won't be able to start it again unless they somehow get near that owner's key again. But it only takes one break-in to steal anything inside the car, or even worse, drive off with it. This NFC relay attack, though, is definitely not exclusive to Teslas. Any car that allows you to drive it with an NFC card is vulnerable. At least Tesla offers a pin-to-drive function that can prevent both of these attacks. Unfortunately, the only way to be 100% sure that no one steals what's in your car, though, is to not keep any valuables in it, and that goes for any car. As you can see, this is a very specific type of hack, and it requires a bunch of contingencies, but it is possible with NFC-enabled cars. Real quick, before we get to number 3, I want to mention one of my favorite Tesla accessories if you're a Tesla owner, 3D Max Spider all-weather floor mats. They are my favorite Tesla floor mats. You can buy them for just the seats, or you can buy a full set, including custom mats for the under storage, front trunk, trunk bed, back side of the rear seats when folding down for larger cargo, and more. They're linked in the description below. The third Tesla hack we've heard about is through the open source software TeslaMate. According to their website, TeslaMate is, quote, a self-hosted data logger and visualization tool for your Tesla. It tracks things like location, charging info, and temperature readings, and passively records the data virtually for owner's analysis. In January of last year, a cybersecurity researcher found a security issue within the third-party software. That software needed to store sensitive information in order to be able to track the car, and their security was not on the same level as Tesla's. The researcher, David Colombo, detailed how he hacked it in an interview with TechCrunch. He said the car's API key, which is a code used to identify and authenticate an application or user, could be manipulated to send commands to some Teslas remotely. Once that was done, a hacker would be able to unlock the car, which, as we pointed out before, means they would be able to put it into drive, but wouldn't be able to interfere with the owner's operation of the vehicle, other than to blast the music or flash their lights. From there, they could maintain access to the car, though, with the owner being none the wiser. Of course, as soon as Colombo discovered this, he informed both Tesla and TeslaMate immediately. Reportedly, Tesla TeslaMate pushed an update within hours of receiving Colombo's email. While that hack is somewhat frightening to hear, it was a bug in the software that is totally unrelated to Tesla. The whole insecurity here was the result of Tesla customers sharing sensitive information with a third-party app. And even then, it was found by someone who wasn't looking to take advantage of it, and it was solved almost immediately. Apart from security, there are ways to hack a Tesla that are a bit more fun. In the case of this fourth hack, you can enable more features. About a year ago, the official top speed of the Plaid Model S was 175 miles per hour. Now, with the help of the carbon ceramic brake kit upgrade, that top speed is 200 miles per hour. Back then, though, the CEO of Ingenext managed to achieve a top speed of 216 miles per hour, and he did it by hacking the system. Ingenext is a Quebec-based company that sells car parts, kits, and modules that help unlock software-locked features in Tesla vehicles, so this took a great deal of resources and years of expertise. The Tesla Model S Plaid they hacked was a stock production vehicle equipped with larger brakes from Mountain Pass Performance, and had higher performance tires from Michelin Pilot Supersport. They made these changes mostly for safety reasons. If you're going to be going over 200 miles per hour, you need to be able to stop properly, and most standard brakes and tires won't be able to do that effectively. Other than that, the only other modification they had to make was to use their Ingenext module, which let them bypass Tesla's software restrictions. This team had tried to reach 200 miles per hour with this car before, but the other locations they tried it didn't have enough space. This time they ran it on a 1.8-mile runway at an airport, and they needed just about the entire track to get there and have enough time to slow down. When they did, though, they surpassed their goal and set the record at 216 miles per hour. Electrek posted a video of this family sedan zooming past, and it's just insane. It sounds like a jet engine. Last month, though, that record was beat again using a similar process, but this time involving Tesla. Sebastian Vettel, a race car driver that has collaborated with Tesla before, released a video in partnership with Tesla Belgium. In the video, he does a few test laps in a Tesla Model S Plaid with the ceramic brake kit upgrade I mentioned earlier and no speed limiter at Circuit du Bresse. He broke the 216 mile per hour record several times, setting the new one at 217 miles per hour, but this was with Tesla's help. Our fifth security breach today is less of a hack and more of a data leak. Usually when you think about a hack, it conjures images of a guy in a dark room somewhere using complicated algorithms to gain access to your computer, or in this case, your vehicle. But in some cases, your information can be leaked just because you didn't check the right box when you set up your Tesla for the first time. Tesla gathers your information if you let them. They use the data to train their AI, which they have been training for many years now. In order for their self-driving systems to actually become anonymous, it needs to be able to recognize people and objects and cars and anything it'll have to navigate when you're driving around. For that reason, Tesla has teams of people whose job it is to label the objects that the vehicle sees so it can analyze it and recognize it next time. What that means, though, is that the car is recording via the cameras all over it, even after you park your car in your garage, and those recordings have been watched by Tesla employees. What's worse, though, is that those recordings may not have always been treated in the most professional manner when they got back to Tesla. According to interviews conducted by Reuters with 9 former employees, quote, between 2019 and 2022, groups of Tesla employees privately shared via an internal messaging system, sometimes highly invasive videos and images recorded by customers' car cameras. Reportedly, employees were sharing videos of people's garages and private properties filmed from their vehicles, and also creating memes with them. Some images were more mundane, but either way, this is completely unacceptable. Tesla says that the video they collect is anonymous and can't be traced to owners, and that still is the case here, but they're definitely doing more with that anonymous video than they should. There's no excuse for Tesla employees to be using your recordings for their own amusement. Tesla recently detailed their data privacy practices that we talked about earlier, and this Reuters report seems to claim that this behavior ended in 2022. Even so, it's not a good look for these connected cars, so hopefully we'll get more clarification in the future. The first thing you can do to prevent this is to not opt into Tesla receiving this data in the first place. When it comes to Tesla news, Reuters has mixed reliability, but we haven't heard anything to disprove these claims yet. The last we heard, they're facing a lawsuit. At the very least, this may encourage some owners to cover up their interior cameras, as well as opt out of letting Tesla use it within settings, as I mentioned. This isn't necessarily a hack, but it does show Tesla employees taking our data and images and using them improperly. For every security breach, though, there is an innocent prank. That brings us to number 6, which took advantage of the signal created by Tesla chargers. When you charge your Tesla, whether at home or at a supercharger, you can easily open your charge port door with the button on the handle. It uses an RF signal to tell your Tesla to open the charge port door. Of course, someone figured out how to reproduce that signal back in 2021 and used a device that could open any charge port door on any Tesla within range. The device is called a Flipper Zero, and it's fully open source and customizable, so it's not just Tesla getting hacked here. For $170 in free code posted online, just about anyone can open your charge port door. That said, you can open just about any gas cap on an ICE vehicle, so it isn't showing us a vulnerability that's unique to Teslas. Teslas also don't support V2V or V2H charging, so the only real concern about the average person being able to open your charge port door is vandalism. But of course, that's true all the time. Just parking your car outside is a risk if that's all you're worried about. For now, this is just a harmless prank. The charge port door will just close before driving again or after 2 minutes have passed. You have to admit though, it's kind of funny that it can be triggered like this. Overall, the takeaway from all these hacks we've seen is that for the most part, Teslas are very secure. The few times you do hear about a Tesla legitimately getting hacked, the whole insecurity gets patched pretty quickly. According to the Highway Loss Data Institute, Tesla vehicles are about 90% less likely to be stolen than the average car. And of the Teslas that have been stolen, one study found that 97% of them have been recovered. According to the California Highway Patrol, the average percentage of cars that are recovered overall is 88%, so Tesla is doing pretty well in that regard. I imagine a big piece of why these cars get recovered is because you can see the location at any time within the Tesla app. Those are some of the biggest Tesla hacks we've seen. Some were a little concerning and others were just kind of funny. Which one was most surprising to you though? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, if you want to check out my full review of the Rivian R1S SUV, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.